Surprise, surprise. Good evening, greetings and salutations to you one and all. Hi, and welcome to Saturday for another Saturday Night Reaver. We're without any Reavers. We are just doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, basically. Been running around today because obviously in between work, I'm waking up and work today. I went to Comic-Con and visited Bandai, Dark Sphere, Forbidden Planet, all the stores that they had down there. So that was quite interesting. Bandai was really cool. Got to hang out with some of the guys there, Samuel, Kieran, Dan, and basically had to chat with them about what they're looking at and where they're going with their approach at Gundam, because they're definitely trying to get it involved in a lot of sort of places within like hobby communities and all that sort of stuff. Recently, I believe they've actually got a part in Hamleys where they've got Gunpla is now available there. They're also attending UK Games Expo next weekend. Well, in a reduced capacity because they're down there with Wayland Games, so they've got that to be dealing with, and seeing a lot of like the new sort of like tabletop games and all that sort of, because it's not a game, it's a build project thing, but they are sort of approaching it more with painting and kit bashing in particular. They've recently had I think Dark Sphere actually hosted. It was like a national Gundam build competition, which a couple of friends of mine entered, one of which won the MG category with a aerial Gundam, which he put in like LED lights, which was really cool. I saw them today. It was on their display at Comic-Con. My other friend, she came third in the sort of the 144 scale, HG scale, with a gold Gundam, which has some wings in there as well. So it was a bit of a kit bash because it was based off of basically homage to Sanguinius. So it looked really cool though, but unfortunately she was a little bit subconscious about having it on display, so she didn't volunteer it, unfortunately. So I couldn't see it in the flesh, but from photographs it was amazing. So yeah, I was down there for a few hours, had a little wander around, saw some the many talented cosplayers that were running around there. It was huge. It was ram-packed. Obviously, Salute is one thing, but going to a Comic-Con in London is something else. It's like the amount of people down there. Obviously, artists, authors, TV and like movie stars that attend, comic, anime, all sorts of walks of life and different sort of medias, so it was pretty impressive, to say the least. But the whole venue was taken over with Comic-Con, so yeah, I only literally got into two areas because that's where my targets were located. Yeah, so that's what I've been up to today myself. So kept me out of trouble. So I'll share this out on the socials. So, all good apart from that. Met some people that I follow on Instagram, which was cool. There was actually quite a few people that have been attending there, but not necessarily meeting up with them at any point. So I know Let's Make It Orky was down there. I believe Peachy and Suggs was going to be there as well, because they'd been invited down by the Bandai crowd. So that was another little thing that they've been doing. Sworn that I put some stuff elsewhere. It wasn't then. Hail and hello. Hello, Badger. How are you, buddy? What are you up to this fine evening? About, and that's what I needed, and I don't know about that. That's over there. Oh, so I hope you are hale and hearty, sir. Okay. Alright, so Melter gets the snip snips. Hey Dante, how are you, buddy? You having a good Saturday evening? What we doing tonight, hobby-wise? Anything exciting? So you've seen some of the stuff that I've been getting myself into today. With the Gundam. It's really quite surprising because as I was hanging out at the Gundam store stand area, it was really quite busy. People going there, and there was some like really cool exclusives that they had on show there, which obviously people were coming down to get. But it's all the other little bits and pieces that I had there as well, which I did not know was aware, because I was speaking with Samuel, who was one of the main guys for Bandai UK, and he actually was kind enough to say, look, okay, right, you think I was doing a build workshop, so you had the opportunity to go and basically build a Gundam. So they do two types. One is like, which is free, which is really cool, and you get to keep your little Gundam. So you get a little entry level class Gundam of a RX 78, or you can pay a tenner and do the premium class, and basically you get an RX 93 Gundam in like HD sort of entry level still. You don't need clippers with it, you literally just peel it off the sprue, which is still bonkers to think that you can just do that with these kits. They are so easy to work with, it is ridiculous. So I went with that because I thought, I haven't got that one, so that'll be cool. So I did that, and afterwards they said, oh, come, I'll show you around, because I wanted to have a look at what they had on offer, and they had so much stuff. And the thing that caught my eye as I was looking around, perusing, as I've explained before, they have the different levels, different grades of Gundam. So you have like the entry level ones. You also have like a small version, the SD, so it's like small dudes. I think it's called. So they have like the normal ones, but they're like miniaturized. Like I call them chibi Gundam. And then you have like the 144 scale HGs. Then you have RGs, which are real grade. So high grade, real grade, master grade, and perfect grade. So that's the like real all singing, all dancing, really finely detailed and all that sort of stuff. Excellent moving parts and all that sort of business. And they that's where the prices go up. So HGs are ranging between sort of like 12 to 30 quid, depending on what ones you get, how good a kit and how popular a kit is, I suppose. But as I'm standing there, in one of the display cases, they had their sort of like PG, which is perfect grade, Gundam Unicorn. So it was like, oh wow, that's really detailed, really cool. But next to it, they had a Gundam Unicorn, but it's called mega sized because it's massive. It stands, once assembled, 45 centimeters, which is approximately 16 inches. At sort of 17/18 inches is the height of a Reaver Titan from Forge World. So you can see where I'm going with this. So they've got a kit that they produce of one of their sort of detailed model ranges, but on a larger scale. So as I said, it stands 45 centimeters tall, which is about 16 inches roughly because 50 centimeters is 1.5 feet, which is 18 inches, and a Reaver stands somewhere between 17 to 18 inches. I always remember that, like, you had certain people saying, "Oh, they can't do Titans in plastic because they're too big, too pieces, and they don't have technology," which is technically true, but technology's out there now, and obviously they can make molds. They can make big molds, or not so big molds, because this thing was £112 for something that's practically the same height as a Reaver Titan. Yes, it's not a Reaver Titan, but it was big, and I thought that's just bonkers. So I might have one. So that's going to be something I might be doing next week. So yeah, that's something at least that may be seen as the way Gundam is sort of feeding itself into the hobby orbits of people, because there's a lot of known faces that are getting involved in Gundam. So it's one of those things that is quite insidious, and the more people start doing it, especially those people that you see, that you follow on Instagram and Twitter and all that sort of stuff, the more people start doing it, the more likely people start picking it up, and it is a huge difference to Warhammer in general. Obviously Warhammer's a game. There isn't a game for Gundam, but if you're in it about the hobby, like collecting models and getting involved in that sort of thing, it is a great sort of stepping off point, because a HG kit, as I said, is so reasonably priced compared to what you'd be getting from Games Workshop. It was like 25-30 quid for, well, again, like 4 drop pods. That's like 25 quid. For that, you can get a nice, mecha anime inspired Gundam. I'm building Delac gangers. Well, waiting to see if Phil or Rob are up for some Heritage Lane. Oh, you've been joining in with them on Dark Side, I take it. So a Titan Gundam model. Exactly. I say, hey Gizmo. I picked up a few Gundam today. I'll inform you of what I got. Alternatively, I could show you. I haven't got the kits with me, but I did take a picture of said kits. So that's what we got. So that's the mega-sized unicorn, the Sazabi, which was a event real grade Gundam that they've done for Comic Con. I got the Barbatos, but in the chibi version of Barbatos, which I saw a built model of that, and it looked really cool. Got one of these little dudes. Oh. Because it was cool looking and cheap. It's like £6. And that was a freebie, basically. So I ain't gonna say no. Plus, I got the RX-93 for doing the workshop. So yeah, a bear guy. Yeah, it was so cute. I know someone who gets Kill Team to play in Gundam because they look cool and they're fun to look. They are. They are like the RX-93. They gave you 55 minutes for the workshop to basically sit down and do it. I did that with time to spare. I even didn't start at the start time as well, so because I was too busy talking to the staff and sharing out sweets. It was really weird as well because like a couple of the guys there who are like the like Kieran and Dan in particular, they come up to me like, and I've had interactions with them like online. I've had interactions with Samuel briefly at the Gundam Sea premiere that I went to, and obviously he was the one who invited me down to Comic Con, and but Dan and Kieran have come up to me and said, "Oh, we follow you on Instagram," sort of thing, because like, you know, Dan's got Legio Mortis AT force that he's building. He's doing like some Legions Imperialis now, Sons of Horus, and Kieran said like the same sort of thing. Like he's interested in doing more. Like he's only been in Gundam the same length of time as me since January. Like I've known of Gundam for years and I've watched stuff in the past, but I've never built a Gundam kit until like now. Well, technically, kind of a lie actually. I did buy well, I didn't buy it. Ivy brought me back a little chibi SD Gundam back from Japan last year, which I built. But we're not counting that, are we? We're talking about proper, you know, like HG and above levels. So we had that. But yeah, it was really cool. Like, you know, you go in there meeting these people and they're really enthusiastic, passionate about their hobby, and I love that about like people that are working on stands that have an issue. They're not there for the money; they're there for the hobby, sort of thing. And yeah, they was really enthusiastic. It was really nice to meet them, and you know, especially like when I said like, "Oh, yeah, we follow you," and you know, you think, "Oh, well, dudes, honestly, it's too kind." So it's really sweet of them, bless them. I think there are, as I said, they're going to be at UK Games Expo at Wayland Games in a limited capacity, so it's not going to be like what they did today or this weekend at Comic Con, but they'll have a slight presence. So I'll catch up again with them when I'm down there next week, Saturday. Amongst other people I've got to track down and say hi to. Lots of people. Abarzan, one of my favourites. Yeah, apparently it's a clear plastic version. That was again, it was an event exclusive, but I wasn't expecting that. But it was nice to receive it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm all about the free stuff. So yes. So I've got plenty of Gundam to be getting on with. I've still got my birthday present that Sam got me, which is technically, because I was just thinking about it, because I was going to get something else, but then I got the mega-sized unicorn. I was going to get a fully articulated aerial. So if you've seen The Witch from Mercury, you know what aerial is. It's basically the Gundam that features in that cartoon series, which is a really good series. I really enjoyed that. So that is something that I didn't get, but as I say, I got the the mega-sized one, which was awesome. It's so big. The lady at the counter really struggled to get it into a bag. I'm honestly surprised Bandai hasn't done something for a TT game. Well, I know that Dark Sphere have, because they've got a Gundam club that operates out of their Shepherd's Bush mega store in the basement. I was talking to the chaps that run that today, and they've actually been making rule sets for a skirmish game. So it's like, you know, you can turn up with just one Gundam and go up against somebody and twat them. So apparently it's been quite well received for the people that have been doing it, but obviously, you know, it's an in-house thing. Whether or not they'll make rules available wider for other people to try out and go from there, because you say, as a game, if you're just having to buy one kit, be it, you know, an SD, HD, RG, you know, whatever, there's a lot less investment compared to obviously doing Warhammer, for example. Hiya, cuties. Hey, buddy. How's your tidying up going last week? You finish it off? So it's been a long old day, as it often is. It's also been a bit of a week for me personally. Had Thursday wasn't a nice day because I had to put my cat Felix down, and I've been a little bit overwhelmed by that, because he was a prince of kittens, prince of cats. 17 years, 2 months. He had diabetes. He also had a condition where he would literally, if he weren't taking his medication, he would practically rip himself apart trying to scratch. So he had these steroid tablets, but the downside is that you couldn't take them alongside the diabetes medication, so that was a bit of a problem. So we had to take that decision because we couldn't get hold. The people weren't very helpful, and because he's old, it weren't going to happen. So we had to take a step back and just look at what's best for Felix. You know, do you let him continue and, you know, degrade and suffer? Because as I said, when he's not on steroids, he rips chunks out of himself. And I'm still saying, talking as if he's still around. It was heartbreaking. But yeah, it's been a hard couple of days. I missed the little fella. Moderately successful. First half of the office cleared, so it went okay. Excellent. You're keeping me company on hour 11 of overtime this week, so thanks for that. 51 hours into the work week. Jesus. Hello, Cody Vers. What's he building? I'm building Legions Imperialis. So these are teeny tiny Leviathan dreadnoughts. And I've just cocked that up. So more glue makes everything better. So yeah, so these are the little Leviathan dreads for Legions Imperialis, which you get in the what do they call it? The Legions Astartes support box set, which you basically get 4 of these tarantulas, or Hyperios, sorry. These are tarantulas, so las cannon tarantulas. You've also got little quad cannons to do as well, which I haven't but yeah, they're still on there. And the radios. You get a lot of stuff in the box set, to be fair. So 4 Leviathans, 4 Deredios, which 2 of them have the plasma cannons, the other 2 have the Anvilus auto cannons. 2 Leviathans with Siege Claw and Storm Cannon, and 2 with the Snippies and Melter Cannon. Cyclonic Melter Lance, what you want to call it. Oh, dope, looks sick. Well, thank you very much. It's, I say, really small. They are hella cute, I'll give them that, because they are so teeny tiny, but they are, I don't know if you can see it, quite detailed for such a small little kit. They are almost perfect miniaturizations of their big brethren. It's crazy seeing these guys so tiny. I know. As I say, like when you are used to like playing with the big guys, literally, because they stand about that big. They're like really small. They're meant to be 4 times as small, but obviously it doesn't feel that way because Leviathans are just chunky mofos at the best of times. Glue that to the base. That's number 3. I'm sad there's only 4 tarantulas. Had a whole idea about having a bunch of them, but no Deredio or Leviathans. Well, unless you swap them with someone, because Deredios and Leviathans are pretty cool. I've also, my pre-orders from the other week came last weekend. So that means Dreadnought drop pods. So that's 90% of the size. So that's 100% of the drop pod, and these are 90% of the Dreadnought drop pods. So they are bigger when you're making that comparison. So a bit fatter. 3 things to that. So we've got that and the Legion Fast Attack, which you get all that. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 jet bikes, 4 land speeders, 2 with plasmas, 2 with melters, javelins, 2, oh no, 4 of them with the missile launches. Ooh. And then Outriders, so 4 sprues of Outriders. 3 bikes on each. Pretty cool. So put that with my to build pile. I was actually thinking about getting 2 boxes and splitting the other parts off and listing them on eBay. I'm probably going to pivot and focus on Solar Auxiliary for a bit. Are they hard to play? Solar Auxiliary can hold their own against Space Marines. So it's all about getting that dynamic sorted between units. You can't really focus on going, oh, I'll get whatever does the most damage. It doesn't work that way. So if you have Titans, you've got to have something to support them. That could, like, you know, take objectives perhaps. You can hold objectives with Titans for sure, because they've got quite a, depending on what type of Titan you've got, they've got quite good combat assault factor, CAF as they call it. So, or CAF. But their weapons, obviously, because you can choose whatever you want for them. But when you're up against mass units, most people have a tendency to go, I'm going to go 2 volcano cannons on my warlord. Well, that's all well and good, but that's not going to do a lot to multiple bases of infantry. You're going to kill one. Sort of thing. It doesn't work as you would sort of hope and expect, because its benefit is that if you're killing a Titan or shooting something off a super heavy, it gets the engine killer. You don't get that against infantry, so you'll just kill like one base, basically. Hey Richard, good value for money. What, these guys, compared to certain things, maybe not. Obviously with Legions Imperialis, it is a game of mass combat, so that's why you've got the smaller units, but you still need to have the numbers to make them any good, and to give them a chance on the battlefield. So yeah, you've got to be careful. You can't just go rushing in, going for like, I'm going to get the most popular meta sort of thing, because it again does not work that way. Poop. What you need with any like true force is something that's balanced. So you've got heavy hitters, but you've also got stuff that can deal with the small guys. I feel like their rules are complicated because I'm slow. I'm also stuck at work on a Saturday trying to get overtime. Yeah. It's the way of things now. Like, so many more people that I know are doing overtime just to get the extra dollar in to help buy food and other amenities. Right. Warmaster Ironclass with the giant Vulcan Gatling array. Yeah, that is a bit of a hench dude. Obviously, he doesn't have much in the way of range. Like the Vulcan, the big Gatling cannons it's got don't have as great a range as, you know, like a Las Blaster. I don't think. I can't remember. I've got a book to hand. But it's getting them into the sort of optimum position to cause the most damage, and being able to do that. Like with Solar Auxiliary, like those Ogrins are actually quite a nice little tarp hit sort of unit to have. Also, like using the Aquila landers as well, very handy mobile units. I also figured that if I work 4 hours overtime a week, I out earn Amy's 3 to 4 hour shifts per week. So I negotiated guaranteed overtime with my boss, and she quit her job. Well, there you go, see? All comes together. So that's the support. So these are what we got left on the 2 sprues. So the radios and the rapiers and I think it's like quad gun. Yeah, rapier and quad gun. We've got to do. Right. I'll get the instructions for building just to play it safe, because I haven't, like, these have been built for a couple of weeks. I haven't just been doing that much hobby recently. Right. joked that we need to discuss her new work uniform in our first performance review. It didn't go down well. Well, I'm not surprised, really. It's probably the way you approached the subject matter and what your suggestions was. That was the problem. The problem was you. Get hold of this. Problem between chair and keyboard. What chair and keyboard? What, my chair and keyboard? What? Have you ever completely scratch built something from leftover parts of multiple kits? No. I have, which Greg, I believe, saw me do when I used to hang out at Warhammer store in Southend back in the day before he became an exile. I bought a couple of kits, which was basically 2 Storm Raven kits and a Vindicator tank kit, and was able to make a Thunderhawk gunship out of the parts. Oh no, when you said the problem was you. Alright. So I think it was at Games Workshop in Cardiff, somebody actually posted up on the internet how to kit bash a Thunderhawk gunship using 2 Storm Ravens and a Vindicator tank. And I built it. It looked cool. It looked like a Thunderhawk as well. May not, see, you put it against a real Thunderhawk, it would look shit. But at the time, it looked awesome. I wish I had photos of my old Orc Army handy. I had a whole super heavy, forgot the name of it, built from my bits box. I knew you were going to say that it's not spare parts when you bought 3 kits specifically for it. Exactly, it's not spare parts. That's why I sort of deliberated, but it was a kit bash. So, there you go. Sort of scratch built. No, it's a kit bash. But I'm not one of those people that do that. I'm not that creative in that respect. Like, I have friends who are just absolutely bonkers when they build stuff. I've just discovered that these parts, these are the carriage for the rapiers, are slightly different. So I might have made a foobar in the past when building. Slash kit blammo, yeah. See, that's the thing, right? As Greg was pointing out, he basically built like a super big tank for his orcs. Now, orcs, as a army, they used to basically be able to sort of do that. They could make whatever they wanted and say it works, because that's the power of orcs. Orcs have the power of belief, because if they believe something is real, then it is to their minds. So, for example, to orcs, red ones go faster. So if they paint a vehicle and it's red, it's faster than anything else. Purple, you can't see purple. So if you had an orc wearing purple paint, orcs would not recognise it. They would not see it because they believe that you can't see purple. So those purple painted orcs would believe that they're actually invisible because the power of belief. Blue is lucky, yeah. Orcs not working, just needs more nails. Also with orcs, it's widely believed that you can scratch build something that's about the right size of something in their book, and it's actually better. This is the Horus Heresy scale. No, yes, it is. It's the Horus Heresy, because you've got the Horus Heresy, and then you've got Warhammer, Horus Heresy, Legions Imperialis. So this is the Legions Imperialis scale, which are the real small monkey truckers. So again, like drop pod in 40k scale or heresy scale is going to be like that. So these are the little teeny tiny dudes. I'm also in 2 mines. I haven't decided if I'm sticking these in my Imperial Fists or if I'm going to double down with my Emperor's Children, because that would be a tidy little force, to say the least. Because I've already got one of these all built up and painted. I do have a 3D printer, it's just I've never used it. And I don't, like, because of the fact I have several friends that work for Warhammer in the design and department, you know, I feel it's a little bit like, you know, wrong. So I don't really do anything with it. especially when you know they're bringing out all these kits. Because if you do that, then they're not going to make any more stuff. Everyone goes, oh, yeah, I buy a printer, I do this, I do that. Yeah, well, okay. But there's people that don't do that, and because you're doing that, you're going to sort of affect a game, because you're printing your own parts to play a game that has parts for it. You know, that's how I see it anyway. Yes. Well, that's the thing. It's like not everyone looks at it that way, though. That's the problem. The amount of times, especially like with like on the Titan side of things, the amount of people go, "Oh, I could print that off myself" and stuff, and acting a little bit sort of superior. You know, I don't go around telling people, "Oh no, you got to do this, you got to do that." Well, that's wrong of me. But when you come around, oh yeah, I can print off a whole army. Well done you. Go print off your army, sort of thing. But I'd rather have the proper kits, because I know that with printing, it's never 100% a lot of the time how things turn out. It could go wrong. You know, accidents happen. So yeah, I definitely don't like make a nuisance of myself. Do I think that they should be the prices they are? No, I think they should be cheaper. But what are you going to do? They're not going to make them cheaper anytime soon. I could have a Titan in like 3 days if I wanted to, but it doesn't have the same feeling as it would when you buy one, so why would I? Plus they're not as defined. Like all the, like, we get a lot of people trying to palm off 3D printed Titans as non-printed Titans, and you can tell, you can just see there's little telltale bits that stand out to a keen eye, and you go, that is fake. That is, you know, it's kind of like an IP theft, isn't it, really? If you're printing off, especially like the War Master Titan, somebody had a 3D printed version of that in 28mm scale within about 2 months of the kit being released. So that's never a good thing. Same thing as a guy at my old game store. He told me I was insane for buying a Forge World Deathcore Krieg Army and bought the same thing from Recasters and bragged about it. I was like, yeah, but mine is real. Yeah, and the other thing is, like, you don't know where, you know, the conditions of where the kit was built and what kind of materials they used in it. It might be resin, but you don't know if it's safe for public consumption, sort of. You know what I mean. So yeah, you got to be careful. Just wondering what faction I should start in LI. You want Marines or meatbags, Dom? Marines, meatbags, obviously meatbags. This is true. So, what guided my choice for Legions Imperialis? So, my first faction that I was building was a loyalist faction, which I kind of, it goes back several years. So, going back to about 2015, I was running a Facebook hobby group called Games and Theory, and amongst some of the members we were talking about doing a epic sort of campaign, so like a build along campaign, so you'd get some epic stuff off of eBay, build it up, paint it and stuff, and, like, you know, show off stuff online, and, you know, as a sort of something to work as a group of people towards an objective, and then maybe meet up and have a game. So when we was discussing that, I opted to go for Imperial Fists. So I've never had an attachment to Imperial Fists before, really, apart from the Ian Watson novel Space Marine, which was about 3 neophytes who join Imperial Fists, and I think it was from Necromunda, actually. And so it starts off with these 3 guys. They're from different gangs. So one was like, you know, Dalak type gang member. One was sort of mid-tier, and the other one was an elite's sort of nobility-esque type rich kid, basically. But they all get recruited, and then it's their adventures, from scouts to Marines and whatever. So that was the only time I sort of read about them, and obviously stuff that you saw in, like, Space Marine, when they brought out the game Space Marine. They did have some information about, you know, Rogal Dawn, some artwork of him, and the like. So apart from that, never had any sort of affiliation to Imperial Fists. So I thought I'd challenge myself by taking myself out of my comfort zone and painting yellow, because that's the sort of thing any sane person does. So I bought some bits off of eBay. So it's like someone was selling, you know, some Marines that are on bases already, and some Rhinos, Land Raiders, and the like. So I bought them, and just started painting that, and then next minute, you know, you got put to one side, and we hear mentions of Adeptus Titanicus being made. We go, ooh. So we kind of stopped. But, you know, it was my original choice for doing a project. So when it came round that this was coming out, I thought, I'm going to continue and do that, because I wanted to do a Siege of Terror loyalist force. So you got 3 choices. Didn't fancy Blood Angels. White Scars, I was either here or there, but it's white. And I thought, no, I'll just do Imperial Fists. They would go well with my Ignitum engines. So that was the decision made again. So continuing from way back when I came back in. So since then, I've done my traitor force, which is based on my heresy army. Well, one of my heresy armies, which is Emperor's Children, and plus purple and gold go well together. So it just made perfect sense in my mind to do it that way, and I've been quite happy with it. Especially seeing as like I'm doing my Emperor's Children. As you noticed, that's not purple. Because that was the one thing from the old sort of like Space Marine days, is that they said the Emperor's Children had black vehicles towards the end of Heresy because they couldn't get the purple paint anymore. So I like that little quirk of their lore, so I'm sticking with it. So my tanks, aircraft, transports are basically in that dark blackish grey. Of the original Emperor's Children style. But when you're doing your own, you just got to feel what's right for you. You know, if you have any sort of like preconceived loyalties to a particular chapter or sort of chapter legion, because of what you've read in the books, you know, that sort of kind of thing. And just embracing it, really. Just go for it. Tanks and stuff, not sure about colours. Right, there we go. Lee, who in LI fills tanks nicely, not up to the rules of anything other than fists. Peño is a mark of an insane person. Looks at HH shelf. Was it the love of paint? Very small detail. Yeah, I said like with these guys, we would say give it 2 secs, because I've got some of them down to the side here, so I'm just gotta. Build these quick. Let's grab these bits quick. Right, so I don't know if this will work. Hold on, because I've got to make my fine glass. See, I can see that pretty well. So you just pick out the little bits and pieces, like the crests, holsters, dangly bits, loincloths, cloaks, lamps. So that's what you're sort of picking out with these. Obviously it's so small, it's really hard to see that on a tabletop, because obviously that's what it's going to look like from most people's point of view. So you can't really see it, so you don't have to go like silly with all the details. So here's one of the fisteds. So again, just picking out certain parts on there, a bit of wash, help shade bits and pieces. Yeah, it's quite hard to do all the real amazingly like small detail, but as long as you can get as near as damn it, that's all you got to really worry about. And I've just realised that there's some sort of advert going on, which we don't want. Thank you very much. So, but yeah, they're teeny tiny, they look pretty cool. You say just pick up those little details, do some wash, and that's your job done, really. So I won't put that into the Emperor's Children, they won't survive the evening. And so I use these little boxes for like haberdashery, you know, put like beads in these sort of thing for making necklaces, I guess. Here's so teeny tiny tongues. But the detail on them is really pretty impressive. Pintle melter. So you get like the Contemptor Dreadnoughts. Look at that, little tiny little beasts. But as I say, just a little fine detail brush, just a dab of colour on the helmet there, metallics, catch the yellow on the side there, do your shoulder pads, maybe do a knee plate. I think I've done that on, he says. Maybe not, I didn't. Oh, I did. There you go. So like alternate it perhaps with another sort of, not both shoulders. Well, they're all done that way. But like, you know, maybe one knee pad. You know, a little bit of variation, but you're not going to be able to see much going on. So as long as they look cool enough for you, that's all that matters really. My current factions, I'm looking at Emperor's Children, Iron Hands and White Scars. Well, Iron Hands are fairly straightforward. You know, they're going to be the easiest out of the three. Obviously, White Scars, you got to go with white. But you know, with Emperor's Children, like sorry, more Emperor's Children out. So again, you know, it's just, these are literally just sprayed lead belcher and then given a coat of like Magos purple contrast, and then dependent on how heavy you go on with that, you can give it a little coat of Drushi Violet as well, just to give it a little bit more purpleness, because the amount of times that when you can't see down here, because see I'm painting them down there, people say, "Oh, you're doing Iron Warriors?" We go, "No, it's purple. We can't see it." But I do mix in like colours such as like Corax Black, or actually standard Mechanicus Grey. I use for like shoulder pads, for example. So like on these dudes, if I can get, there you go. So they indicate by having one shoulder pad in Mechanicus standard grey. So it just helps to sort of mix up the coloration of the forces. Here you go. Here's Emperor's Children's tanks. So, little Predator. If you can focus, can you focus, please? So, the little Drushi Violet, Magos purple on the turret. And then the rest is just Corax Black over lead belcher, basically. Pick out those details, give it that wash, and we've got Sikaran. So the thing I like about Sikarans, he says, as he tries to get it off, is that you can magnetise the turrets. Whereas with the Predators, there's no mag points, but there's one big peg. So you just literally pop that in there, take it out, swap it over for the las cannons. So you have options because they give you individual turrets. So a Sikaran comes with either the Amiga turret with the plasmas, or with the Anvilus auto cannons. Pardon me, sorry. And then you just keep them in boxes like that. Yes. Cheers, Richard. I'm surprised this is such a small channel. Keep up the work, man. Yeah, this is more of just a chilled, relaxed, sort of just hangout, really. I don't spend a lot of time just sort of like pushing things. It's just literally to have somebody to chat with in the chat, or was it other people there as well to interact with whilst you're doing your own hobby? Because not everybody goes out at weekends. Some people stay indoors, you know, especially like during like lockdown. Not a lot of people going anywhere, so lots of people are doing hobby, and this was a means to sort of just hang out and meet people really and have a chat, which is always fun. We have some of the regulars who obviously Greg there. There was Dante, who was about. Richard is actually an old friend of mine from childhood, sort of thing, kind of teenage. And there are many others that flit in, flit out, and do stuff. So it's all cool, but as I said, it's just a chilled place to hang out and just, you know, chew the fat whilst doing hobbying. Do you use those one bristle? No, I don't use those one bristle brushes. One bristle brushes. No. I apparently, like, learning from the professionals, a lot of them use sort of like 2 scale brush, because if you've got a fine nib on it or tip of your brush, that's all you need. So whereas like before people were going, oh yeah, I've got to buy like a 5-0 brush or a 10-0 brush just to really think, professionals use a bigger brush because it's more stable, so it's not going to flex on you when you're trying to do lines and stuff, or intricate detail. So I just use whatever brush is to hand. I am a butcher. Where's the bits? Oh, there. Every channel starts with one viewer. Lee is awesome, so this will grow. Thank you very much. As I say, I don't push it that often. You know, I might post on my Instagram every now and again. As I say, 7 people is a good sort of level, and you know, when you've got questions, queries, or you're just interested in something, just asking a question. If I can't answer it, someone in the chat might be able to answer it, and you say, you just converse, hang out, and you know, it is something like I've had like friends that have joined in on a stream whilst hobbying, and they've messaged me afterwards and said, I found it really cool, relaxing, helpful, and motivational as well, because sometimes we just get into situations, you've had a bad time at work or something like that, and you were thinking before going into work, oh, I'll do some hobby tonight, and then you think, no, I don't want to do any hobby, I just want to be a bit grumpy. Hanging out in a like something like this, just, you know, listening to some random long-haired dude chatting about stuff, it can actually make a big old impact on how you approach your hobby. And you know, we all need to have time out from the rigours of work. We all seem to be working more and more than we want to, so you have to make time for yourself, just so you can keep your sort of like, you know, your emotional, mental health at a good level. Because when you start putting things aside for work and not doing things that unwind, you know, like having a hobby, that was the whole point of hobbies, is to basically take you away from the work environment, and just relax, and that's what you want. neat boxes. Yeah, I found them. I don't know where, if you're in the UK or if you're Europe or America. I don't know where you are coming from, Dominicus. But there's a store chain in the UK called The Range, and I bought them for about £1.87 per box, and these do just sit in there rather nicely. I need to get some more actually, because I've nearly run out. Well, I've got most of my infantry in those ones there. Need some more for dreadnoughts and other artillery pieces, such as these. But yeah, it's finding the right boxes for the right vehicles and stuff. That's a real challenge at times. Are you over in Northern Ireland? Oh, cool. I'll be heading over that way in August. Go to my friend's birthday party celebrations. So, although I strangely from the UK, it's actually easier for me to fly to Dublin and then get the bus up to where he lives than it is to go into Belfast, because if you're going into obviously the international airport, which is out of town, you've got to go to that, land there, then you've got to go into Belfast, which is away from where he lives, and then come back on yourself. And to me, that doesn't make sense. So it's actually more straightforward for me to fly to Dublin and then travel upwards, because it's about the same sort of distance time-wise on the bus than it is. But then, if you was doing it direct, it would be about the same sort of time. But because you've got to go into the city centre to come back out again, as far as I'm aware, so I might be corrected. I'm actually going to Lithuania in August. Yeah, cool. Lovely, lovely part of the world. I will say that. I haven't been there myself, but I know friends who have visited and they've sung praises about it. So a lot of those sort of like Western European countries, and like, you know, towards sort of like you know, Yugoslavia, like the Croatian coast is very, very nice apparently. But then obviously like Latvia, Lithuania, there's some really lovely places to visit. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling these being another lot of Emperor's Children. I don't know why. I just feel it, because you know I could do half and half, but I don't want to. And then that would give me a nice sizable chunk of support units for supporting my Emperor's Children. What? Near Ported Down, sorry. It hits like 40 degrees over there in summer. It did that over here last summer. What was I? I was actually off for the real hot day. I remember at one point I'm sitting in my car in a not supermarket, but a which I say Greg will notice, the airport estate. So right next to Southend Airport, there's like lots of like shops. So I was up there because I had to pick up my my kids and my ex-wife, and she needed to do some shopping. So I'm literally sitting in that car in 100 degrees heat. I felt rather hot, to say the least. The nearest official store near me is like 40 minutes drive. Really? Wow. Like general sort of like, you know, grocery store sort of thing. There's yeah, so where I go to, friends live out in near Enniskillen. So if obviously Enniskillen is a reasonable sized town, you know, you've got some nice little shops and stores there, sort of thing. But they live about 20 minutes outside, so I can get most stuff from like 2 stores in a 10-minute drive. But that's the thing, it's like, you know, that sort of rural life is actually quite appealing. It's when you've lived somewhere, like being a city mouse, moving to the country is such a culture shock at times, because it is so different. And like, you know, if you live in the city and then you go out to the country, it's again culture shock. But I think it's less in some regards, because all you're doing is you're not being, if you lived in a city and you move out to the country or visit the country, you appreciate the sort of it being quieter. Whereas, you know, when you're in the city and or if you do it the other way around, you're from the country and you're going into the town, it could be a little bit OTT, like, you know, freak you out. Be right back. Gotta make a call. You go make a call, buddy. Right. So what we've got left is the Dereggio Dreadnoughts, and that's the that's better. I'm now watching you on a 75-inch TV and I can see the details at last. Well, I'm glad somebody can see the details. I'm really struggling. It's a long way down. I've actually recently had to get some glasses because my eyesight is getting a little bit worse for wear. You need those glasses with multiple lenses that you can bring into zoom. Yeah. Yeah, no, I haven't received the bucket. I was checking when I got in tonight, just on the off chance. I had checked the thingy seat where, obviously, if no one's about, people stick. Oh, bugger. So, not as yet, my friend. So I was going to actually ask you if your mum has said that she dropped it off, because if she has, I don't know where she dropped it off. It's not here. This one is the Amaryllis. Just getting a message from one of the guys from Bandai. Do slot together rather nicely. Whoopsie doodles. So, the tiny auto cannons. I'll do the top mount ALOS missiles, but I'll check that on in a sec. Right there. And what you sent me. Wow, that is a big TV set. My hand is massive. That's a nice TV you got there, Rich. else to do. Ooh. Right. I'll get onto the delivery driver, see if there's an ETA. I'm actually, so I'm not going to be at home for a few days as I'm looking after the kids. Their mum's going away for a few days, and so I've got to go stay up theirs and making sure that they don't burn the place down and stuff. So I'll be actually up in Southend area, but you can always drop it off there still. I'll be popping back home on Tuesday. We'll be going out at some point. I'd love to see you make more videos about LI. Yeah, I would say I do sort of mix it up a little bit at the moment. So the 4 things I am working on. So generally it's Titans, which was the origins of this channel really. LI now, as and when it turns up. Dystopian Wars, because I do a lot of stuff, because I'm a war host for War Cradle Studios, aka Wayland Games. So I get to do like previews and unboxings, basically reviews. So I've got a few. I've actually got a bit of a backlog on them at the moment. So I am a bit more currently not as focused as I used to be. So when it was just Titans, it was Titans 24/7, build. But because I've got to juggle things around, and plus obviously now Gunpla, my Gundam affliction, obsession even, that is a problem. It's not a problem, it's just fun. And so different, so very different from 40k and what I'm used to. But yeah, I'm definitely got more stuff to build anyway. So like we've got the fast attack options, we've got the Legion drop pods. I've also got more Titans to build as well to add to my collection. So it's non-stop unless I'm not available, which this coming week, because I've got it's going to be a bit tricky because obviously I can't do hobby from the kids, so I might, I don't know, try and sort something out if I can. I'd probably say it's going to be a bit hard because I don't know. I'll see what I can sort out. It might be a very impromptu hangout, even more basic than normal, come Wednesday. On Saturday, I'm going to be at UK Game Expo up in Birmingham. And I'll be running around like a headless chicken for the most part, I'm sure. Diddy. It was that or a hair transplant. 75-inch TV. I would. Yeah, I would. If you can, make a battle report with your mates. Yeah, it's normally I think what I want to be doing at some point. I'd like to do it sooner or later, but it's a bit hard because logistics and stuff. But I want to go up to Warhammer World with all my Titans and knights, and do the Titan death for the Legions Imperialis. You know, just get all the Titans out and let them run around. Obviously, I might have to get some friends to join in, because that's a lot of Titans. Definitely need a lot of knights. Sorry, a lot of dice. Sorry. Hold up. We seem to be missing a part. Leg. Missiles. Have I battered something somewhere, which I shouldn't have? The button doesn't seem to be the hip section. It's not on the sprue. He looks through the sprue. No. This is quite annoying. Alright, hold on. Did I inadvertently knock it onto the floor without realising? Which, as we all know, small tiny bits of plastic onto a carpet, especially when it's got a pattern on it, is never ever good. Not good news, people. It's like a small part. It's not really inconspicuous as they would say in lock stock. Hands and knees time. Just make sure it's not on the seat. I wasn't sitting on it. No. Oh dear. Oh, I'm getting too old for this. Ow, got cramp now. Finds it straight away. There you go. Oh. That's handy. I'm going to suggest frame arms next. Yeah, I've got a... because all the instructions are in Japanese. I need to sort of. I think I saw a website that might have the instructions there translated, so it might be handy. So, what Titans you got? Well, let's just say there was a point in the last year where I had more Titans than Games Workshop. I have all the Titans. I think. How many am I up to now? So unbuilt at the moment, I have an Iconoclast, a Reaver, and 2 Direwolves that need to be built. Oh, poop. Oh no, so I've done it. What did I do? What did I do? Yeah, so, no. Right, so currently, Titans built and painted is 164. Knights built and painted is 168. And that's of AT scale. Of Forge World scale, I have 5 Titans and about 24 Knights, which of various. Well, I've got 1 of each class, apart from the Mechanicus, Mechanicum version of the Porphyrion, which is the Asterius. Yeah. I have partially assembled a Gurai Kai on my desk at the moment. Then you need to finish that Guru Kai. Peter Cushing used to build models and conduct war games when he was alive, so you're following the footsteps of the Grand Moff Tarkin, indeed. Yeah, he used to play Little Wars, which was H.G. Wells actually created a rule system for playing war games. Like Napoleonic war games, basically, for boys from 8 to 80 and for girls of an inquisitive nature. It's the actual thing that it says. Arnold, evening. Got a bit of a question. How much infantry is enough for a 3K game? I have no idea. At the moment, I've built, because I haven't played a proper game yet, I've got 4 sprues worth of infantry, so I think that's about right. Maybe less, because you use the Terminators and that as upgrades to your squads. So what Titans hasn't he got is a better question. Thank you very much, Gizmo. 164 Titans, yes. Yeah. I've been collecting them since 2018. Coming up to the 6th anniversary, which is August. So when you plot it out, it doesn't work out that much. Because a lot of, I don't generally buy from Games Workshop. I buy from online stores, so you've always got a bit of a discount, so like 20% off and stuff like that, which is always handy. So you get more Titans. Bought a lot of starter sets, so that helped bolster out Reavers and Warhounds. Also bought a lot of Battlefall sets when they came out, so we are expecting the reissuing of the original 4 Titan box set. So as a Warlord, Reaver, and 2 Warhounds. not the even awesomer 5-titan box set, which was basically a precept maniple, because you had a warlord, a warbringer, a reaver, and 2 warhounds. So it was much more awesome. There is a video of those titans, so you can either go to the channel and look through on the videos. There will be on the shorts, I think, at least a video there. Otherwise, if you follow me on Instagram under the Forge of Mars, you can go through the videos on there, because there is a couple of videos of the 2 Titan musters that I've done. One in 2021. The other one was last year. So in 2021 I had 100 Titans and 150 Knights. Since then, that was October 2021. So by the time we got to, I think it was July 2023, I had hit 150 Titans and 166 Knights. So yeah, there was an increase of 50 in that year and a half. But yeah, there was also the same video was shared by Mini War Gaming Dave on his Instagram. So if you follow him as well, you can be able to find. It'll be easier to just go to Forge of Mars on Instagram, because obviously it has all my videos and posts up there anyway. I did want to go up to, as I say, Warhammer World and do another muster, but because I've got lots of other things I need to sort out with, that might have to be put off a bit longer than I'd hoped. Sorry, my my internet went out, so I guess I'm taking a break from OT. Can't watch or on phone, or I'll use up my data. Cheers for coming. No worries, buddy. To be fair, I probably will be finishing up after this dude here. Or finish off these 2 dudes. I'm feeling a little bit tired. I've been up since 5, and it is catching up with me. And I've got to work tomorrow. Fun. And that, my dear friends, is that. How many points of ally? I haven't actually added it up yet. Because I had this like set idea, so I had two game boxes. I swapped out all the solar auxilia with friends to get more marines. So I've got each force has got 6 predators, 4 Sicarans, 4 sprues of infantry as standard from the box. I've bought Spartans, and so I think each force has 4 Spartans each. Yeah. So more tanks. So there's the Imperial Fists Spartans. So we've got 4 of them. 4 Sicarans. So 2 with the melters, 2 with the high velocity things. 4 Sicarans, 6 predators, and 11 rhinos. But they've also got quite a high number of aerial units with this lot. So they've got a Thunderhawk, 2 Storm Eagles, 4 Fire Raptors, and 6 Xiphons. Compared to currently only 3 Xiphons for my Emperor's Children. I've got nothing else as an aerial threat. But now they do have Hyperios. So they've got plenty, well, we've got a couple of anti-aircraft sort of units. So yeah, I would need to add them all up. So plus obviously you've got a load, about 8 Dreadnoughts, Contemptors, loads of 11 what do you call them? Contemptors. Right. But yeah, so that'll do me for tonight, because as I'm feeling a bit wrecked now. I think all I've got left is a couple of bits and pieces, but I can't focus, so we'll leave it there. I'll see about Wednesday. As I said, I'm going to be at the kids. I don't have the setup, so if I do something, it's going to be really basic. But we'll see. We'll see. So thank you very much for coming to hang out this evening, and I hope you have an awesome rest of the weekend, whatever you might be doing. Hopefully lots of hobbying. So until we speak again, take care, have fun out there, and just keep on keeping on. Sort of what we can do nowadays. So that in mind, I shall say adieu. So take care, everyone.